What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Second Street Marvel. I am your host, Trinity. Thank you all so much for being here today. We are doing something a little bit special, a little bit out of the norm today. Today here on my channel, we are going to be hosting the War Council. So I hope you're all having a very good day. Go ahead and get in your seats, get ready to go. We got a couple of guests here that we're going to be bringing on today, and we got Mad Max the Mandalorian, Darth Daddy, and even myself, Trinity. We're going to be talking about a whole bunch of stuff today. How are you guys doing today?
Good. Just coming down from my stream. So it's glad to have somebody else in charge. I can just chill out.
Yeah. I was trying to get Odin on too, but he had some other plans. He's going to see 1917, I think, which I want to see that one. I heard lots of good things.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was gonna say I've basically everybody I've heard of out there that's went and seen it said it was actually really good. And before we get too far into anything, I want to let you guys know the thumbnail that we're using here, and even using here in the background. This was all this was made actually by Black Angus Reviews. So Black Angus, if you get mad that I used that photo, hey man, let me know.
See, he's here in spirit. This is what Angus is about. His tomfoolery. He's making these thumbnails. So don't blame Trinity. Blame Angus. Blame Angus.
Yes, definitely blame Angus. And if your image is there and you don't want it used, just let me know. Like I said, we'll happily do all that stuff. We'll take it down.
Although you're being fair, you're crying in the corner there.
Yeah, I mean, you're right there crying, Trinity. So
yeah.
Hey, Angus, if you're watching, I need that thumbnail, that screenshot for future use. Especially since Trinity said he might go hard on me one day. I'm gonna need that. I'm going to need that thumbnail.
Yes, always need evidence. Always need evidence. So I didn't get to catch all of the stream. I'm not sure how many of you guys that are here right now were over on the Great Council, which is Darth Daddy right there at the bottom of the stream. I know they were. What all were you guys talking about today? Because I made it there just a little bit late.
Lots of stuff. I mean, we talked about the ups and downs going on with Star Wars and the box office. Then we got into fandom stuff going on in the fandom. How people talk to each other, how they treat each other, misconceptions of the fandom menace, and bad optics that sometimes they get. And we just talked it out.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say that's something. I mean, that's something I talk a lot about here on my channel as well. Is because I'm not really into like all the discourse and talking about a lot of those things, like in particular people or anything like that. I'm more like talking about like the fandom, because to me it's something that is I don't know, it's a good subject to talk about with all of the just the division between different fan groups and things like that. And I think we're here in this new year. I mean, it's just time to get past all these things. Like Star Wars is over for now. We're going to be getting some new content soon, so hopefully some of that can die out, as have seen that Disney has started to make some steps in the right direction to make things be a little more friendly for all of their consumers, it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, since the Fandom Menace got traction, it was inevitable that there had to be another group and if there's a huge opportunity, like Josh does want to bring people together, there's a huge opportunity. I think some people may be part of this group just because of the need and want to be part of a community. And my perspective, why I've joined the Grey Order, is I want to be part of a community that actually has a goal. And that's not being too harsh on the Fandom Menace. They just we don't have leaders. Everyone has their own opinions is their goal.
Right.
Or get SJW politics out of entertainment. That could be one of their goals.
And the cool thing is, like Trinity even said it before too. It's like, just because you say, "Oh, hey, I'm Grey Order. This is what I believe in," it doesn't mean you can't be anything else. Angus still believes in Phantom Menace and tenets of it, and he considers himself Grey Order. And Trinity does his thing. He's Grey Order, but he has his buddies in Dark Council, and I mean, it's it's not like it's pick a side. That's not, that's not what it's about. It's just just whatever you're part of, just trying to keep open discourse and talk about things that we love and enjoy.
Yeah, and for me, really, it's for me the biggest thing, like with the Gray Order, is it's just all about engagement. How when we're talking about these nerdy things that we all love so much, about just not being jerks to one another. You know, realizing that we do have our own differences and different things that we like and don't like. And I've even talked about this a lot. Just because we like the same thing doesn't mean we like it for the same reasons. So I think really that's what a lot of that is about too. But I want to say Rod the Rican is here. I'm not sure if you guys know who Just a Rican in his comics is, but he's an absolutely great guy. Been very helpful in helping me grow here on the channel as well. He does some live streams on the weekends where he like today on Sunday he does the comic community shout out, where he gets together with smaller content creators and helps kind of highlight them, and they just have some great conversations about comic books, and he sends in a $2 super chat. Thank you very much, Rod. I would suggest maybe you all go out and check out his channel. He's a really cool guy.
I didn't know you and Biden were that close, sir.
No.
That's really creepy. That's really creepy.
Yes. Yep. I've been touched by that Biden touch.
Oh no. It looks like it. Looks like it there.
Yeah. And I want to say thank you to everyone once again for showing up. It looks like we got Rod here, Nathan But Game, great supporter of the channel, Captain Pennsylvania, one of my Patreon supporters, Moira Kitty, Phobic Zeno, Biden Touch, Julie from Wished Upon a Vlog,
hey Joy,
Rear Fire, Rev Kev, Mads Mama Bear, J528, Crazy Comic Song 2, Crazy Guy Comic Song 2, Crazy, all kinds of people in here. Thank you guys so much for being here. LB from the Lonely Banter, just some really great people.
Oh yeah, we like LB. Me, Lunga met him the other day.
Yeah,
great guy.
Yeah, LB's awesome, man, and he's been another guy out there who's been very helpful in helping me grow as a content creator and here on the channel as well.
I like his little tweet yesterday saying "unsubscribe from me, guys."
Right. yeah, which is something that's kind of one of the points that he brought up there in that conversation is a lot of people do go out there and subscribe. Hopefully we all subscribe to people that we like and want to watch their content, but sometimes you get those people out there they subscribe to support, and it's not all about subscriptions. I mean, it's not having dead subscribers, because dead subscribers can hurt a channel as well.
Yeah.
But so I also seen there, something else that, I kind of wanted to get into that you guys were talking there towards the end of the stream, was about like the Comicsgate thing, and also with Jeff Hicks and his comic book that he did, Stealing Solo, which seems to be like kind of a hot topic there for a while that people were talking about. It seems like a lot of that conversation has kind of died down a little bit, and hopefully in the sense that he's getting things sorted out and making things right for his backers on that comic book. And I know there were some people there in the conversation that in the chat that were talking just about that as well, and people have very strong feelings about that kind of stuff, and I get it. And for me, like and people don't want to give them the benefit of the doubt, and I get that. People are certainly open to not have to do that, but like, I'm not close enough to the situation as well. As you were talking to Odin from Odin's Movie Blogs, he didn't seem to be too close to it also. Right. But I think, Jeff, he did come out and kind of address some things. And, I think there were some missteps. And, one of the things I think is important is to realize that this was his first comic book project. He's probably never done anything like this before. And there was obviously some missteps along the way. And they were even making mention about how
say that. That's my point.
Right. Yeah.
That's my
exactly.
Then promote it like that, but you didn't promote it like that, and you got 50K.
People are forgiving. People are forgiving for that. I mean, if they say you admit I messed up, or this happened, people are forgiving. No one's saying you need to be perfect.
Right.
That's not what we're saying.
I agree.
It just to me, the reason why I bring it up is because I felt there was a lot of duplicity. And that's what kind of bothered me, and that's why I talked about it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's important stuff to talk about because I mean, I get where people are coming from, because some of the commenters were even saying about how he's friends with EVS, and I'm like I get that, but like, friends with EVS only means one thing. That doesn't mean that the EVS went out there and held his hand along every step of the way and said, you should go to this printer, you should do this, you should do that, because I mean, at that point, that's when you would literally just have to go and pay him to be an editor or something like that, or in some sort of fashion to go through and take all those steps with you. I mean, to me, I think it's just some missteps that just kind of happen when you're first taking on a project. I mean, we could go look at directors or writers of all kinds that have these same kind of missteps. And I guess my ultimate hope is that hopefully he goes out there and actually makes things right. And, he said that's one of the things that he was working on. And I think given a little bit of time, there'll probably be some more resolution to that.
The whole situation kind of shows the flaws in Comicsgate to me, because a lot of criticism is they're all together, banded together for the beginning. Everyone's getting their Indiegogos funded, and they didn't share any details behind the scenes. It's mainly just there for the image, and then no one communicated. I can't know for sure, obviously, but it seems like no one really communicated. You should do this. You should do that, and it's all about the hype at the beginning, getting everybody's comics funded without. EVS used to do portfolio reviews. Maybe he should have done a portfolio review of him before he's telling everyone to go spend money on it as a criticism to EVS.
Well, again,
that happens a lot.
Him promoting it and trying to help his friend. There's nothing wrong with that. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Just like DKOT says here right now, that's the issue. It's not what happened prior. It's not this. Yeah. It's the mistakes that happened afterwards. Not owning up to them. Blaming everything on a printer, and when there's glaring things like
I'll sue you.
Not that you promised signed copies, which that alone is either you lied about that or you lied about not knowing what they look like. Either way, there was a lie somewhere, and that's the part that it's like you could have just told people flat out, you know what, I didn't know what I was doing. I got a shitty printer. I should have researched it better. And people would have been okay. We get it.
Yeah. And I agree there 100%. And even DKOT Star Wars here, James says it's really how he handled it after the fact. Mistakes are easy to forgive. Just own it and make it right with people that gave you the money. And I absolutely agree with that. I mean, transparency really is the key thing, I think. And I think like you guys were saying, I think most people are very forgiving about things. When it comes to stuff like that, as long as you're open and transparent with them. I mean, overall, people, especially Americans, seem to be forgiving about stuff like that when it comes to stuff, because we can go through past histories, all kinds of histories of people that have went out there and largely messed up on things and have been forgiven just by them. I mean, humility is something that hopefully most of us understand and realize.
Yeah.
But I don't want to beat that subject too much. I mean, he's been under a lot of fire, and I think he's kind of come out and addressed some of that, and hopefully we'll see more of that. More resolution.
To link it to like entertainment industry, if Lucasfilm that addressed more fans' concerns at the beginning, it wouldn't have got as hostile as it has. But whether you like the way they've gone or not, I think there should have been more outreach to the fans and their concerns, and just then avoiding it.
Right. Yeah. I agree.
It wouldn't have got this big if they would have squashed it at the beginning. George Lucas, people didn't like what he was doing, but he was actively directing the prequels, making them, and he still did interviews. Even if you didn't like what he said in the interview, he still addressed things. There's even an interview where he talks about some of the characters in the Phantom Menace that kind of resemble different nationalities, and he addressed that too. So I think that's something we're missing in entertainment right now with the current leadership at Lucasfilm. Yeah. They don't really address it till there's a celebration where they're getting paid to, and it's kind of glossed over there too.
Yeah.
I think that would have gone a long way.
Yeah, certainly. And and like I said, I mean, people are forgiving when it comes to stuff. So I think that's the most important thing. And I think we haven't heard the end of it yet, and I'm sure here soon enough we'll hear more on it. Hopefully some sort of an update or something. But yeah, so go on.
Oh, are you happy about Jar Jar's return? Finally, some fan service for George Lucas himself. That's like an apology to George. We're going to bring Jar Jar back for you, George. Sorry we ruined your sequel. I'm sorry. Difference of opinion on ruining the sequel. Sorry, fair and balance. I'm not going to say it. We're giving fan service to George. That's all.
Is that something that's happening? Is Jar Jar actually coming back?
In the Obi-Wan series, they're saying how there might be Jar Jar might make an appearance.
Oh wow,
it's a rumor. It's all speculation at this point.
Interesting. Well, okay, something interesting. Something else we could also talk about here is what do you guys think? Recently we heard about the director of Doctor Strange 2 stepping down due to creative differences. What do you guys think about that?
I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, people put too much into this.
Do.
I don't. People put first of all, when you think of it's MCU and you have Feige at the helm, nothing like that should be considered weird. Feige has a plan, and if what the director wants to do doesn't jive with them, it doesn't mean there's like these fights and battles going on. It just means, okay, this is what you want to do. I'm not really up for that, so we're just gonna part ways. And that's all it comes down to.
I think they could still pull it out, but I think Doctor Strange 2 is probably one of the most pivotal for Phase 4, especially considering what happened in Infinity War and Endgame with him looking at I think there's a lot going on in that specific film, and
Feige's still at top of it. I mean, Feige put Taika Waititi for Thor. Who would have thought Taika Waititi and Thor Ragnarok would be a match? Yeah. And he made a spectacular movie out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he did. And I like Thor Ragnarok, but honestly, like, I'm not sure how much more of that I want to see. Hopefully they don't bring because I seen somebody suggest bring Taika Waititi on for Doctor Strange 2. I'm like, no. Just
no. I don't want to see that either. No.
Yeah. Like, he's good at doing his thing, but I don't want to see any more of that. Like, it just really did seem to work with that particular Thor movie, and I know that a lot of people really did like that movie. Obviously, I think a lot of people like the first Thor movie, and I go back and I watch them like, it's still a little on the cheesy side, but the one that's overall, it seems like unanimously people do not like it, and that's Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah, it gets a lot.
I like it. I like it.
It gets a lot of hate, but I mean, the funny thing is, if you think about Thor in general in the comic books, it's all about the cheese. I mean, that's literally what his comic book is. I mean, he's, an out of place Asgardian who speaks, in prose and stuff like that in the comics, so different from all the other heroes around him, it's cheese to begin with. That's Thor, so I don't think the comedy in it or the way he talks is that weird. I kind of like it. I think they let him be Fat Thor for way too long. I mean, he's an Asgardian. They could have literally done a scene where, in 10 minutes he worked out and he was back in shape again.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I have some breaking news that we could talk about.
Ooh, what's that?
The image leaks of Morbius, Jared Leto. Did you see that yet?
I saw those.
Oh, did you?
I didn't see the photos themselves. Well, you know what? I think I did see one of the photos.
John Campea retweeted it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I watched it on Charlie's channel, Emergency Awesome. Yeah, he showed it. And it's a pretty cool picture.
I can share it right now if you'd like.
Yeah, let's see it.
Let me see here. Okay,
Max,
I put it there.
Is an internet challenge, so just give him a moment.
Yeah, I'm challenged in many ways. Yes.
Yeah.
So that looks cool.
Yeah, that actually looks pretty accurate to that. Yeah.
So that's exciting. See, everyone wanted Disney to take everything, including the Sony properties, back, but I think Sony's starting to bring it. Even though Venom, I could, it was okay to me. I don't hate it. I don't love it. But doing stuff like this is a way to get people excited.
I mean, everyone forgets that Sony's Spider-Man movies are like what kept Marvel movies alive.
True.
For the longest time. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, certainly.
And now there's MCU, and they're like, people are like kind of like retroactively saying, "Oh, those are movies." It's like, no, man, people love those movies. Stop it.
Yeah, love them. I think part of that too is because the MCU is so new. They've made quite a run here over the past about 12 years now. And the fact that a lot of the audience that are now into the MCU, like, they were like children, and some of them may not have even been born when those movies came out. And I think they don't know the path and don't remember it. But like for me, like I I love what Sam Raimi did with those Spider-Man movies. Obviously, the second one seems to be one that a lot of people really like, and there's for me, there's obviously reasons for that because Sam Raimi actually got together with the cinematographer Bill Pope on that movie, and when those two dudes get together to make a movie, they just make beautiful movies.
Yeah,
I mean, even as bad as Spider-Man 3 was. Still a really well shot movie.
I like that movie. I know it has issues, but I still enjoy it.
The dance.
Yes, I love it. I love that. Just the same reason I like Jar Jar. I imagine people cringing, and it gets me happy. It gets me happy.
When I first saw it and he was dancing on the street, I did cringe a little. I'm like, oh my god.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
We need Raimi back in big franchise films. But he was ready to make Spider-Man 4. And Spider-Man 3 is as much Sony's fault as it is his. And he said he didn't want to do that again. He wanted to get it right. And mainly the reason that fell through is they needed it on a timeline so they could keep the Spider-Man franchise because they have to make it every so many years.
Right.
And he said, I have to do it right. I got to do it. And they wouldn't. That's why we got the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. A similar situation is happened with Doctor Strange, because I don't know if it's true or not. I have to check out his tweets. The director said 2 weeks ago, before he got dropped off the project for the Doctor Strange, that timelines are what kills art.
Yeah.
So and then 2 weeks later he's off the project.
Right.
So I mean, Marvel, they're gonna keep a tight ship now, especially with everything tying in with Disney Plus. It's even more so now. They can't delay films when there might be a plot point in a Disney Plus series.
Yeah, Josh mentioned too in his one video about how he that director had a meeting with Rian Johnson to talk about it. He wanted some advice from Ryan.
Oh no. Really?
Which is
okay.
It's weird though, because Rian Johnson got to do whatever he wanted with his movie. So I don't know.
Right.
He's like a weird person to confide in, but okay.
Well, it's a big issue in these movie franchises that the studios, and this is why they go with younger talent, is they could kind of push them around a little bit, and it could ruin your career if you let them push you around and you still try to follow the timeline when you know it's very likely it's not going to gel like it should with your artistic vision. It could ruin your career.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at Josh Trank. Mm-hmm. I think he was going to direct a Star Wars film, and then he got trashed because he wanted to stick to his vision. They hijacked his film. I know he has some, I heard he had some personal problems too, but Fantastic Four, there was some interesting ideas in there that with fleshed out, it could have been a lot better. So.
But, I think it kills me though. Like Fantastic Four, they literally just put out crap just to keep the property. That's
right.
what they were doing.
Well, that's the they were on different pages. He wanted to do an artistic vision, and they did it exactly to keep it right.
Yeah, and here's something from Captain Pennsylvania. Another thing that kind of came out here over the weekend is they say Hawkeye is not canceled.
Oh, I was going to bring that up.
I actually haven't read anything about that yet. I saw the headlines.
That was Robert Storms. That's who video popped up on my feed. That Hawkeye's canceled. I was going to watch that, but then was going live, but I didn't get to watch it yet.
Yeah. Supposedly, they were saying that the Hawkeye show has been put on hold for now, and I'm kind of wondering if that has anything to do with the fact that Jeremy Renner is kind of going through some issues right now, and I know not too long ago they were talking about that with his divorce and things like that, and how that's all going to play out. If maybe the studio is waiting for some of that stuff to play out to continue with their production.
Sure.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, there could be a multitude of reasons. Don't get me wrong, but it's not unheard of when you have a major stars like this, especially male ones, if they're when they're going through a divorce, they literally stop any project they're on just because they don't want to add more money to their net worth before the divorce is finalized, because then the lawyer for the wife will say, oh, well, he's going to be on Disney Plus. He's making X amount of money from that. That's included, and this and that. Right. And they just it brings me back to, I'm an old school Cubs fan. I've been a Cubs fan for the longest time. And Ryan Sandberg back in the 90s when he was he was the top player in the Cubs. And then he retired like really out of nowhere. He was still young, and it came out later. It's because he was going through a divorce, and then he tried to come back afterwards because he didn't want all that money to be part of the divorce. So I could see that as a possible reason too.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of reasons. I mean, maybe because recently there's the rumors going around as well about that maybe Marvel Studios did actually acquire the rights to the Incredible Hulk from God, who was it that owned that? Was it Universal? That owned the rights to that? So I mean, that being the case, maybe that actually is true, and maybe they're like, okay, well, we got this, so let's shuffle some things around to make things right. So let's what could we possibly put on the back burner until we get more info.
Disney Plus Hulk series, I'd be all about that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I liked Edward Norton's Hulk.
I liked him too, but as you know, it's come out. The reason why he stopped is because he was difficult to work with, and that's why it stopped. But I like Ed Norton as an actor. I think he's a great actor. And I think he did Bruce Banner great. Ruffalo grew on me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I do like him too. I know there's a lot of people that are not necessarily happy right now with Hulk, but it's not because of Ruffalo. It's because they went with, even though in the comics it's a big deal, Professor Hulk and Smart Hulk, it's a big deal in the comic books. In movies, I think people just want to see Raging Hulk, and that's the problem with that.
Yeah, definitely. As I say, I've actually heard, there's rumors out there too that Edward Norton is somewhat kind of a pain in the neck to work with on set as well. So, but you got to hand it to him. I mean, the dude is a great actor.
Yeah, he brings it. He doesn't compromise his vision for anyone. That's the thing.
Yeah,
which I can respect, but it makes it difficult.
Yeah, I think one of the best movies that he's done. I mean, obviously, God, what was that one he was in? Was it? It wasn't not Cape Fear, but what was the one where he was a crazy man? And
I can't remember, but I know what you're talking about.
Fight Club?
No, there was.
That's a good one too, though.
Yeah, Fight Club's a good one too. But there was one where he was like he was seemingly timid the whole time, but he was really like I can't remember what. I don't think he was a murderer. Maybe it was.
You're spoiling it.
Yeah,
I think that's not revealed to the end if I can remember right.
Yeah, that one was really good, but then obviously American History X, man.
Oh man,
that movie is like hardcore, man. Like, and I think it really talks to a lot of just like it's a great a dive into how our society and just how people interact with each other, and a lot about redemption too, about how we all make
how
mistakes.
They can change, how people can change.
Yeah, how we.
Do you think they could still pull that off in this environment with the with movies now? It's a hard one to say. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it'd be
cutting edge.
It'd be an interesting take how they could.
They're not as willing to take.
It would take a brave director, and the reason why I'm saying that is because the narrative right nowadays is people who are like that are irredeemable, and that's the narrative now. So showing one of them is redeemable, you'd start getting shouts of, "Oh, you're trying to say that it's they only did this because of their youth, or they're this," and you're trying to normalize that it's okay for people to be like that. And it's like, no, it's saying people make mistakes and they can change.
Right. And, which is funny because a lot of those same people who would argue that about those same things are the same people who will go and stand up for people who've made mistakes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, do you not see what you're talking about and debating here? Like, you're saying this is okay, and these people, and this is okay, and these people should be able to, they're redeemable, but you're over here trying to cancel these other people for them just doing something as well. Like, weirdos.
I mean, come on. When people were screaming, calling Joker an incel movie, it's like, Jesus, come on, stop. It's like, come on, are you just trying to find something to be mad about? It's
it's I don't know, it's just, I guess, how would you say, the human condition, I guess, and how everybody is, and everybody always wants to, there's so many people out there only want to see their side and not somebody else's, until it personally affects them.
Yeah, for sure.
Just crazy stuff. What's this right here? Bake the Snake says, had a childhood friend that was in American History X. He played one of Edward Furlong's friends. Nice. That's pretty cool. Yeah. definitely.
I see Tommy's trying to trigger me with pineapples on pizza again.
Oh, yeah. That's
Tommy, you don't want me to lose control, dude.
You don't like that?
No. Pineapples on pizza?
Mm-hmm.
No, man.
hell no.
Oh,
No.
I love it.
Pineapples on pizza is like tits on a bowl. No. There's no pineapple on pizza.
Or, as Angus would say, like, no, I can't say that here on my stream. We'll get demonetized.
Were you watching the stream last night? It went pretty crazy.
No, I didn't see it.
Oh my goodness! It went off the rails.
Once we let Kermit in, it was
Kermit and Firewater.
Okay,
They need their own show.
Before.
Oh, he gets people commenting right away as soon as he pops up.
Oh no,
because he's an active Twitter guy.
Oh, all right.
But he's part of the Gray Order.
So Max, do you subscribe to Disney Plus?
You trying to expose me, bro? You trying to expose the last boycotter? No, my father does, and the login works at my house.
Ooh, I'm telling Disney on you.
Hey, you know what? I'm not going to judge people for pirating either, but I try to stay away from pirating. And even though I want to boycott certain things, I don't know how I stand out. I also want to. Well, talking about like fired or canceled and subvert your expectations of what that actually means in Hollywood. They are never going to officially say fired or canceled. They'll say on hold, we're in talks, and all this other stuff. Unless you get Me Too'd or something like that, then it's fired or canceled. They're not going to officially say it. That's how Hollywood works. The majority of projects never come to fruition. There's so many projects that never happen. Projects that
hit the junk heap. It happens all the time.
So it is likely the Hawkeye won't happen. It might be on hold. I don't know, but I don't think they're going to say canceled though.
Yeah. What about you?
That's what he said. It's on hold. The rumor is it's on hold indefinitely.
Okay. Well,
Disney MCU, they have so much stuff on tap that they could literally plug and play anything in.
Yeah.
So they'll be fine.
I'm not really looking forward to the WandaVision thing. I'm just like,
Oh man, you're crazy.
Really?
Oh yeah, I mean, no, literally, you're crazy. But yeah, you're crazy.
I mean, I'm willing to be proven wrong for sure. I'm like, I always. The other thing is wanting things to fail. I don't want it to fail. Like right. I would have loved to the Rise of Skywalker to unanimously fix every single thing, but even people that like it said it didn't really fix. It just did the best it could. So right. I mean, even though I was boycotting it, there was nothing to make me happier than JJ saved. JJ really brought it for Star Wars. It's an amazing film, like Oscar worthy. I would be happy at that moment. Yeah. But I'm just waiting to see it on Blu-ray, and I'll be back with you guys to give my thoughts on it. I might do a review. The last boycotter reviews the film he boycotted.
What about you, Daddy? Do you have Disney Plus? Yeah, I do. I bought it for the year.
Okay.
I mean, aside from my nerdy things with MCU and Star Wars, my girlfriend and my daughter, they love Disney movies too. You know what I mean? So it's worthwhile getting out.
The reason I'm asking is because last night I sat down, with my wife and the kids, and of course, my son was up, and he was all being hyper. But we watched this movie on there called Togo. Have either of you guys seen that movie yet?
No.
Oh man, you know what? Don't watch it.
Okay.
Don't watch it, dude. Like seriously, this movie is about this dog, this guy. Basically, what's going on through the movie is there's been a diphtheria outbreak in the city in Alaska, and they have to go get some medicine to cure all these kids. And there's this really bad storm setting in, so they have this guy and his because they're trying to use like modern technology to get it there, like airplanes and whatnot. But this took place, I want to say, back in I can't remember if it was the early 1900s. And so this guy with his sled dogs went out, went through some crazy terrain to get this medicine. And it was kind of this story about this one particular dog who was kind of the hero here. And I'm telling you, like the whole last half of this movie, I'm sitting there pouring tears. I'm like, this poor dog don't die. I know it. And the dog didn't die.
That's what your tweet. That's what your tweet was about.
Yeah.
Now I know.
I was so disappointed. I'm like, dude, I cried this whole last half of the movie only to not see that dog die on screen. Man, he lived a full, healthy life, and I'm like, never again, Disney. Maybe I need to boycott.
Yeah, for a minute, I thought you were watching like what's that movie? A Dog's Life, or one where the dog kept getting reincarnated.
My niece always wants to watch it. And I'm like, I can't do it. I love dogs. I love dogs better than people.
Yeah. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah, it was a pretty good movie, and of course it's got Willem Dafoe in it. And dude, he's just such a great actor, man. I think that dude could do just about anything.
Yeah, I love him. I love him in Boondock Saints.
Yes.
I gotta watch that again.
Oh, Boondock Saint is such a beautiful movie.
I haven't watched that. I haven't watched that since before he started doing Walking Dead. What's his name? So I might want to watch that again.
Yeah, Boondock Saint was good, and I think it was an indie movie too, wasn't it? I don't think it was a big production company. I think it was a movie. But either way, yeah, I love that movie's awesome. The second one was okay, but the first one is just a classic.
And here's a comment from the guy whose fault it is that I actually went and watched Togo. I blame this guy. Aggressively relaxing, he says, Togo is setting the record straight on which dog was truly the remarkable one 100 years ago. Spiteful dog revenge films are an underserved market.
I was also looking up Edward Norton's filmography. He's not doing much lately, but that movie you were talking about earlier is Primal Fear.
Yes, Primal Fear. That's
Richard Gere.
Yeah,
he did have some movie recently where he pays like this guy like with Tourette's or something. It was like a period piece. Edward Norton.
It says Motherless Brooklyn in 2019. I don't know.
That's the one. That's the one.
Oh, really? I might want to watch that.
Yeah. So he did do that. I know he's been kind of big on trying to, I think, to like direct or produce or something like that too. So that could be part of it too.
Yeah.
That could be an interesting topic, catching up on some of these really prolific actors that don't get as much work now and see what they're up to. I would like to go back and watch that movie now that you're mentioning it, Longa. It looks interesting, and you watched it. His acting ability is all really represents. I want to also go back and watch some Joaquin Phoenix movies that I missed.
Gladiator.
Well, yeah, that for sure. I don't think that. I love Gladiator, but I don't think that's his best where it shows his acting ability. I think he'd been fine for the role, but like some of the other ones where I've seen clips of.
The M. Night Shyamalan movie, which was the one with Signs. Is that what it's called? Signs.
Yeah,
Mel Gibson. Yeah, he was in that one too. He's the tinfoil hat.
Yeah.
That's what people say I do in my videos. Tinfoil hat, MFer. That's what I got accused of before with my rumors and speculations.
Yes. Oh, here's another one. This is one I haven't seen. A Duda review says Her was good.
Yeah. I didn't watch that one yet.
Oh, you haven't seen that? Me neither. I haven't seen it either, but I've heard a lot of great things about it. Have you seen that one, Darth Daddy?
No. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Her. Which...
He like falls in love like the Siri type operating system or something.
Yeah, like
hold on. I think
something.
I know which one it is. Was it a Netflix movie or was it a movie?
It was a movie. Yeah, and I think was that Spike Jonze that did that? I think Spike Jonze did that one, and Spike Jonze he makes some weird movies, and I think he himself is just kind of a weird dude as well. But yeah, even Lonely Banter here says
I was just gonna say the lonely guy might actually like that falling in love. You falling in love with Siri Lonely Banter? The Siri voice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a movie with Joaquin Phoenix, right? Yeah, no, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, and a duder says Scarlett Johansson does the voice.
Oh, then I would too. I would too.
Yeah, right. Definitely. Which speaking of Her, have you guys seen the movie Ex Machina?
Yeah. That's a great one.
That's another good one, man. Like, like I don't know, something about like watching movies like that, like because that one was really weird. Like just like with the whole robots and the AI stuff that comes up, like to me, it's always really intriguing. That kind of whole dive into cyberpunk, which is something I was kicking myself for earlier.
That's the movie I thought you were talking about when you said Her. Because you started talking about AI and stuff. I thought it was because Ex Machina I saw. It was that was a kind of messed up movie.
That director, he's a good director too. He's kind of underrated a little bit since his last movie. The last one was with Natalie Portman. I still liked it. I don't think it was as good as Ex Machina. I forget what it's called.
We had a little down and dirty Oscar Isaac in that movie.
Yeah. I don't even want to. I think we can all guess. I was gonna say I don't even want to know what he was doing with those robots, but I think we all knew. I think we all knew, and the robots didn't like it.
No, obviously they did not like it.
Yeah. # robot rights.
That was Solo.
That's what the droid did in Solo. She freed all the droids.
Yeah.
Freedom, my brothers and sisters.
Yeah, and I think we all know what Lando did with that droid too.
Hey, people say I get it wrong with my. Are you all right?
I know. I've been thinking about Lando because people on Ryan's channel or someone they're doing Lando voices, and it's like I could do a Lando voice. Like, will.
People say I get it wrong sometimes with my speculating. I made a fake spoilers video for Solo, and I'm like, what?
Oh, whoops!
Nope, we lost Max.
Sorry, Max. You're gonna have to come back in, man.
Max got censored.
My bad, Max.
Trinity had a real itchy finger.
I clicked the wrong button. There he is. All right. Sorry about that. I clicked the wrong button.
You swear it wasn't on purpose.
Sure. Well, now we got some beef. What the hell, Trinity? What the hell?
It's the War Council.
I gotta say, how abruptly your voice ended was kind of funny.
Laugh it up, fuzzballs. Laugh it up. I was talking about how my speculating mind, I get things right sometimes. So I did a fake spoiler Solo review with fake spoilers, and I'm like, what's the silliest type of representation they could do? And I said a robot love. So I guessed it right even before Solo came out.
Well, what is wrong with love between a man and a robot? I don't see anything wrong with that.
I don't.
Fine here among the clouds.
No,
whoa, Trinity, put that stuff away, man. Put that stuff away.
Is Jolly here? Is Jolly in the room? Is Jolly in the room?
That is not YouTube friendly.
I didn't know Snow Dog was visiting. Or Jolly.
Oh man, I'm sitting here laughing it up about that too now. Oh man.
Maybe we should give you a little private time, Trinity.
You better hope no one clips that out.
Right. Speaking of which, how was that hentai the other day?
To me, it looks like you've been watching a little too much Watchmen, a little Dr. Manhattan action going on there.
Why are you holding a rose?
Oh, my kids just came back from a birthday party, and that was well. This went along with the other thing that you just seen.
Okay, you give it
Revenge of the Blue Dung.
Where's Angus when you need him?
Man, I know, right?
Man.
Oh man, he would have a field day with that.
Yes, he would. Oh man.
Yeah, the puppets. Kermit almost got me to do a face reveal by accident last night because I was laughing so hard and my mask would fly.
And I missed it?
Yeah.
Man, I've been waiting to unmask you for a while, Max.
No one cancels this madness, Nathan Buck game. My medicine can barely contain it. So you're not gonna do it either.
Oh man, that was funny. Oh yeah. All right, so what else you guys got planned for this week? Are you bringing any madness to us this week, Max?
I'm taking on Campea. I'm going to be the best damn movie talk on YouTube. He claims it, and he wasn't the first either. Then anyone else used to watch the Totally Rad show? Anyone remember that?
No.
Oh, that was one of my favorite shows back in the day. So I followed Movie Talk. So I'm going to take on the camper, Campea.
All right. So, and how are you going to do that? What's your methods?
I'm going to try to do streams every day talking about movie madness, and I'm going to go. Collider dropped out of the game. I'm going in. There's an opportunity there.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm willing to. I'm not afraid to say certain people's names. One of the criticisms of Campea is he's afraid to say people's names when he's talking about them.
Because he's borderline excess media. I mean, he's not.
Well,
even though he's a YouTuber and he's independent, he's not like us. Let's put it that way. You know what I mean?
Well, here's where there's an opportunity for channels like ours. Is we're talking to everyone. We're not ignoring. If you look at the sub count and the view count of Campea and Jeremy, and yes, I'm going to use this as an example, it's pretty dead even. And that really shows you the divide in movie talk and in the fandom and in politics. So the way forward, if you want to, what Mark Fernandez said is there's so many people that watch YouTube. Yes, there are. But a movie talk everyone knows who everyone is already. So you're only going to grow your audience if you go a different route, if you mix it up. And that's what we're doing here, I think. We're mixing it up, talking to all sides of the fandom, trying to move forward, and actually having leaders and goals and say, we want to try it. We know it's a hard task, but just like Batman goes out every night to fight crime, we're fighting. And I say, cancel the menace. I'm not talking about, I exploit their name. They are self-proclaimed menace. So I say cancel the menace on all sides of fandom. I'm not just focusing on the fandom menace. I'm saying the way forward is to talk to people, and there's a great opportunity there.
Right.
Sorry, I'm laughing, but Tommy's in there saying because. because.
Okay, you happy? I did it. You happy?
Let me go get my blue phallic thing here that you can use.
There were a lot of things wrong with Steve Walton's video. Woo! Making his wife pretend to be his mother. Oh man, spilling milk on himself. And I'm pretty sure that was the writing process for volume 1, was saying, Jeremy.
Occasionally I go back and watch that video and I just laugh my ass off, man. That video is so hilarious.
Yeah. Okay, Second Street.
Oh,
I was Trinity. Sorry. No, I'm waiting for yours. I can't wait to react to the. Go for it, brother. I'm waiting.
But yeah, Max, and I know you probably work during most of the time during the week, early in the mornings, because I've been doing my morning movie chats now for a little while, because I started that just basically out of kind of inspiration from the John Campea show as well, because I know there's a whole lot of people out there that don't like John Campea and don't like to watch the show. So I'm like, hey man, like I like movies. I can talk about movies too. So I started doing my one hour live stream in the mornings, basically about an hour before he starts his show. So because I watch Campea every day, because to me the best part of the show is like usually like that first hour and a half, when he has Robert Meyer Burnett on there and Aaron Andrews and just any of the guests that he brings on. That's really the meat and potatoes of the show, where they kind of get into different subjects, and been kind of looking at a way to try to get more people interactive in that to help bring up subjects kind of like he does, for particular topics. So
I have a hard time watching him only because it's very dry to me. I don't think there's a lot of personality.
He plays it safe in certain ways, except when he says
it's not even about being safe. It's just I zone out. His voice seems to be just drone after a while. You know what I mean?
And unless he's talking about cousins, then he goes. I think that's the start of the divide in the fan base, was when he did his rants on that. He upset a lot of people.
Yeah. And other than that, I mean, I just like the show because he has a huge audience that goes there to watch to watch the show, but then is interactive and helping bring up good topics to talk about and things like that. Where I've been doing it for a little while now. I'm like, man, you kind of run out of topics really quick. But that's where I start, I'll go back and I'll watch an older movie or talk about some of the older movies and things that, that I liked, as I was growing up, or even recent movies and things like that. Not just necessarily a bunch of like movie news, because I don't really watch a whole lot of that clickbait stuff that they have going on out there. All those clickbait sites and everything.
Oh, really? CEO of G&G attacked you, huh? Well, my main issue with Campea was when he downplayed, like, people paid him a super chat to discuss paying critics, and it comes in many ways. It's not just funds, and he downplayed it and played dumb about it. No one gave a check to anyone, and he like went on a rant. And I think that was the lame way to discuss which could have been a revealing moment. He's like, yeah, we have to try to be. It would have been cool to have a creator in the Access movie game say, you know what, I try my best to give honest opinions, but I could see where it can come into play. You do have to play nice with these studios instead of doing this epic rant saying you're an idiot if you think anyone gave money to me to give a review. Totally glossing over and dumbing it down to the simplest thing. There's lots of ways that studios hold over it. It exists. Access media, it exists. And it's the way the studios want it to. And they don't really have to give you much. Look what happened to a Collider not going to Galaxy's Edge. That 100% was on purpose, because Harloff and Mark Fernandez were both being critical of The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
They can cut it off easy.
I think wasn't there some people that were there and part of the show that were actually invited, though, just not him particular?
Yeah, I like Josh from Dead and Nerd says he has a strong suspicion he's on the blacklist too. Disney has done this before. Yeah. There's actual things that have come out where they've blacklisted a critic, not on YouTube. And I don't know what paper they wrote for, but they were critical of a movie or a choice, and they did not let them to go. They have a history of doing this. Yeah. Well, it does exist.
To me, one of the things, because you like to talk a lot about the Access media, and for me, I think, I get what you're saying, but for me, I think a lot of it, like a lot of people call them shills or whatnot because they're being nice and not slamming on movies, just so they don't lose their access to, these special screenings and things like that. But for me, I think the more important thing that, some people don't realize is, just because you're criticizing a movie, and this is really mostly on those studios and things like that, just because you come out and give a movie a bad review doesn't mean that you're slamming a movie either. Mm-hmm. You can be critical and not give a good review. To me, it's more about not being a jerk out there, just saying, oh, this movie sucks, because I hear a lot of people go out there and make these really just the most simplistic kind of reviews for a movie, like, oh, this sucks. Like, dude, my 5-year-old son can give you that review.
Yeah.
There's no point in saying that,
Well, I think too, what separates it, like if you're just reviewing the movie, okay, and you're talking about the movie, the pros, the cons, what you thought could have been done better, what was bad, that's just a review, and they're fine with that. Like when you start saying things like you start theorizing about what's going on behind the scenes, and you start saying things like, well, they're messing it up, maybe they need to fire Kathleen Kennedy, or maybe move on from Kathleen Kennedy, or she made some bad decisions and this and that. Now you're being critical of Disney as a company, not just the movie. And that may be where they get a little touchy and we start revoking stuff. And Josh, in all honesty, and not like he was wrong in what he was saying, he said certain things like that. He said that, hey, I think Kathleen Kennedy's making some major missteps and she's doing some things that are not good for the IP, and maybe Disney should consider taking a different course, and this and that. And if that's the case, if he's blacklisted, I could see him doing it probably for that reason. That's why. You know what I mean? So at that point, they see it as, you're not being critical of the movie, you're being critical of us as a company. And that's where they'll get like touchy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah. Yeah. And, and I get that, like, because I get that, like, the studios don't want people out there who are just going out there and making just like these ridiculous comments and things out there if they're allowing people early to come in and see their movies. And at the same time, it's bad that you have to give them a good review or anything like that. I don't think it's necessarily all about that. I think it's just the point of playing softball a little bit. Like the Rotten Tomato system is a big issue because there's
a good range there that you could go before it goes rotten. And everyone knows, I believe, and I think a lot of viewers out there believe, even if you dislike the film, you don't go beyond that point where it's rotten, where the score system for Rotten Tomatoes is a joke, I think.
Yeah, I've honestly never been on Rotten Tomatoes site before, not once.
Because you could get it like you could get a 3 out of 5, and that's still considered fresh. 2 out of 5 is where it's rotten.
Lonely Banner's going nuts in the chat for you. It's like, I don't like you, Second Street Marvel, but I am here.
Yeah,
I hear JB Smooth's voice, like how he is in Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I love that show. That's one of my favorite shows too.
I don't like you, Second Street, but I'm here. Yeah, I love it. I love that show.
LB says, "I'm on the permanent blacklist wherever I go."
Not on mine. You're on my go list, Lonely Banter. After that, you give great conversation.
I think he's going for a little double entendre.
I know.
And
I was virtue signaling there. I'm like, no, you're not on mine.
I just also want to give another huge shout out to Tommy, man, one of the hardest working moderators on YouTube. I've been in here dropping links and everything. And if you guys are here on the channel, you guys haven't checked out Tommy's channel, go check out his channel. He talks, does some lightsaber theories. He even talks a lot about movies and things. So one of these days, Tommy, when you're not busy, let me know, man. You come on the show and we'll chat about some old movies, because I know he likes a lot of the movies that I grew up loving as well, man. Like he did some reviews, like talking about Stripes, The Goonies, and even Young Guns is one he was talking about the other day.
I like Young Guns.
Yes,
Young Guns. I love that movie too.
Yeah, Young Guns is a good one, and it's funny too because like it's a Western, but it's not even really it's not like an authentic Western. It's kind of like
it's all character driven, man. Character driven, and the actors.
Yeah.
Famous. At that time, that was the who's who of actors.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and to me that's something too, is like, a lot of the people that are in those kind of movies, like, something I've talked about before is, sometimes you get these actors who, I think that's something missing nowadays is like, you get an Emilio Estevez, or you get a Danny DeVito, or you get a John Candy, and when they take on a role, they are basically themselves in a role. You know what I mean? Where, they bring their personality to it and things like that, where we don't really see that a whole lot in Hollywood these days. Like these personalities that, bring them to a role as opposed to just playing the role, Yeah.
I mean, people. I love Robert De Niro, and people love Robert De Niro too. But same you said for him. I mean, he's Robert De Niro in every movie. Let's be fair. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and sometimes to me, I think that's probably just due to, it seems like a lot of them are personality-less, like even on social media and things like that, because they don't want to say the wrong thing, or maybe they have their own little, personal politics and stuff that they, don't want to, either bring into the movie, or they're just always trying to be that. They're just so cut and dry. You know what I mean? Like they don't have a personality.
Yeah, but then you have someone like Christian Bale, who's a complete character actor, and he becomes someone different every movie.
Yeah,
like, I mean,
dangerously.
You get the same guy who was Batman was Dick Cheney. I mean, it's like, you know what I mean? It's like,
and he was the machinist.
Yeah,
man, what a missed opportunity. No wonder he flipped out on Terminator. That could have been the way to bring it. That could have been the trilogy we needed if it would have gone right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
It's him as John Connor. Woo.
Yeah.
That's a missed opportunity.
Agreed. Let's see what's the Stories by Irish says everyone's a Mad Max mod squad.
I have a lot of mods. I got someone saying, tell your people to unblock me. I'm like, I don't know who did it, and I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, like over on Max's channel, like his is like dodgeball, literally. Like if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Yeah. Yep.
Angus and Kermit and Thor are not what? Oh yeah, he got dangerously skinny.
Yeah.
Like he looked like he was gonna faint or pass out the whole movie.
Yeah, yeah, and you know what's funny is when we watched that movie, it came out at a time like I just moved to California, and a lot of us we had a handful of friends that were living all together, and we have one of our good friends. His name was Bro, and that was like actually his real name. He was like skinny and like that looked just like him. Like we would make jokes like, "Hey man, like Bro's in this movie. Like what the hell?" It was crazy. It was crazy. Like how much because like getting that skinny, man, like that's not easy to do for anybody, unless you're just naturally that skinny, But well, anyway,
well, Daddy is gonna host, I think, next Saturday night the Stream Club. We still haven't decided the name. I don't want to put you on the spot because that's your family time, Trinity, but I would love to watch you on there sometime. I know maybe not every time you make because you're a busy guy, but I would love to hear you guys talk because I'll at least watch on my phone when I'm out of town. I'm going out of town next weekend.
Oh, all right. Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. We've been going for about an hour here. Darth Daddy, what do you have coming up on your channel? Let everybody know where they can find you and stuff.
Well, I mean, Tommy's been posting the link. Thank you very much, Tommy. I appreciate that. Yeah, the Great Council. It's like the little logo says up here. Head to the channel. I stream regularly every Sunday. I do other streams as well, but Sunday is usually the guaranteed every stream is a Sunday. But I'll probably be doing this, thing of Max talking about the Stream Squad or Binge Club or whatever name we want to come up with. We'll probably be doing stuff on Saturdays and I do have impromptu streams here and there too, as well. But yeah, go ahead, check it out. Please subscribe if you like it. And we'll see you.
All right. And what about you, Max? What you got coming up?
Well, I got to work on the Twitter pool because on the stream last night, we discussed possible things that we could talk about as in each month for the Stream Club or the Stream Squad, have titles that we could vote on and say, yeah, we want to kind of watch this together. I mean, it's not required. No one's going to say, oh, you can't come on if you didn't watch this show. But it'd be like incentive to watch it where we could talk about it together. Sort of like hidden gems of streaming things you could find on there. Because that's where a lot of the majority of content is going besides Disney. So I'm going to put a poll up there. And then I'm also going to put up a poll for a movie a month. Because my man Snowdub and Kermit have been talking about My Name is Dolomite. I still didn't watch it. The Irishman. So like a movie too. For a month that we could all say, oh, we watched it together or around the same time to see what people's thoughts are, hidden gems for movies too. And I'm bringing the movie madness every day. And I might do a stream later tonight. I'm not sure. And I don't know what the hell I'm going to do it about, but that's part of the fun. I'll have to figure it out. I might do a madman reads an article live because really innovative stuff reading articles on YouTube videos. But I don't know if anyone's done it live yet, and I think people liked it.
Yeah. Oh,
she said hello.
Daddy's not actually sitting in that room.
Oh. She didn't realize I was streaming.
She killed the illusion. Is that a
the Wizard of Oz?
Is that
don't listen to the man behind a curtain.
Behind the green curtain.
It used to be an actual set, and then it fell on you.
I did. What am I? Well, how am I mean? You didn't when I came in here.
Oh man, that's good.
No, you saved it. You saved the show, Kitten. Come back.
But anyway,
Nerdy Blurb, you're welcome to come on. The War Council is sort of like what the High Council started at the beginning. I always, everything I started on my channel, I always wanted to do like someone else can host it, and that's how you build up everyone's channel. Like Second Street is hosting it this time. Maybe Longa could host it in the future if he wants. A War Council, and my channel is usually where it's been. We also had one on Rookie Critics. When we first started, when I was working with the Fandom Collective, I think I went a little bit too extreme for some of the guys in the collective. So, so that's kind of why it's not there much anymore. But those are still good guys, though. I'm not going to say anything bad about them. I'm an acquired taste, but the madness is spreading. Join the madness every day on Movie Madness, where movie talk is continuing, and I take on Campea.
Definitely.
my
Yeah, and Nerdy
Maybe
Blurb
we
TV,
think
man,
of a
that's
little
my boy
game
right
now
there.
with the,
That's my
green
boy right there,
screen.
Nerdy Blurb TV. He,
well, I got to follow him on Twitter, so next time we can have Nerdy Blurb TV on a War Council. I'd love it.
yeah, he does these great things. Like I'm wearing this Fandom Initiative shirt. These things where he gets a bunch of content creators together and they submit videos and kind of build hype for things getting ready to come up in different movies and things like that. One of my favorite channels. This dude's like a brother from another mother to me, man.
Hey, Nerdy Blurb TV, have you heard of the Great Order? Have you heard of them yet?
I'm not sure if he has. I know he's not really into like all the whole like fan war culture and just all of that stuff going on. He's kind of like me, man. He likes to have fun with it, man. He likes to have fun. But anyway, guys,
little game now with this green screen. It's like make people guess what's real and what's not. Like, can I grab that?
Those are fake.
That's real. That's real.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's funny. But anyway, guys, we've been going for about an hour.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for being here for the War Council. And next week it will probably be on Mad Max's channel or somebody else's channel. We'll find out and let you know more about that. But you all have a very good day, and we'll see you all in the next video. Later.